Hey everyone, Cycloniac from OS. Just was looking back at the instructions that I posted and realized that a video might be helpful. So I just wanted to take everybody through. This is the TrueSim NBA ratings calculator that I've been working on for a while. So once you download it, extract the Excel file from the zip folder. This is what you'll see. Colors might be different. I use a high contrast theme, but this is where you'll end up. This is a dashboard sheet. The first thing that you'll need to do is, instead of enable content, I think it'll say something like start editing or something like that, because it's going to be in reduce mode. I've already done that. So first thing you need to do is then click the enable content button, because this does use macro to display the ratings and tendencies once they're done. So this is a dashboard sheet. The main things that you need to do on this sheet here is enter the name of the player, the position that they play, secondary position, and team if you want. I just do that. It's easier to follow, easier to keep records. From there, this is all the data I use, with the exception of this, which I'll go over later. All data I use comes from Basketball Reference. So down here is going to be the advanced statistics. The tool is designed to use 3 years of statistics. I think that's a good baseline. You don't have to use 3 years, you can use 1. If you just want to use 1, for example, you could just copy paste and do the same year for all 3. Now, this matchup difficulty number, I use Basketball Index for this. There you have matchup difficulty data, I think, going back to 2012 or 2013. This helps to refine the defensive IQ numbers that the tool produces. You don't need to use this. So you don't need to pay for Basketball Index to do that. If you don't have it, just delete that. This is the Calc tab here. So this, after you finish entering everything in that you need to know, this is where all the ratings and tendencies will be. Once you're finished, you would copy, paste from here to the ratings tab. I did Nikola Jokic as an example. And then you would move the active cell day 2 player's name. Go to ratings view tab. Make sure and A1, hit display, and it'll run a macro to display all the ratings and tendencies and badges for that player in a way that's a bit easier to input for 2K. I know I did it for 2K21's interface. I don't know how different it was compared to previous, but I started to do this back to 2K18. So it should be pretty much the same. You might notice some ratings that not exist anymore, like the moving shot tendencies. And what else do they not use? I don't believe they use contest anymore. So you can just ignore those. If you use the previous 2K, you can use them, of course. But anyway, this is all the tendencies for him, for Jokic, that the tool produced. And of course, the badges. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do another player from scratch, fresh example. I go through all these sheets first, so people have an idea of what's here. So this is a data sheet. This is where all the statistics that I draw from, I store here. So, like for example, if you have Jokic here, and you want to use, if you want to update them, like next, you wouldn't have to start from scratch. All you would have to do is enter his name back on dashboard, and it would immediately bring up all the ratings you would need, with the exception of the advanced statistics. You need to get those from a Basketball Reference every time. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to do Kobe Bryant, I have him in the database already, so I'll just type his name. The shooting guard, secondary position, small forward, Lakers. And then you can see if you go to the Calc Tab, you can see that there's data already for him. So if I wanted to do someone from scratch, here's what I would do. I think this might help to clear everything up. Let's do Zion Williamson. Okay, so I'm going, what I usually do is I look at the play-by-play data for him from Basketball Reference, and I see that he is a power forward based on the position estimates. So power forward, usually I would say, you know, the minimum 10% for a second, but 5% is fine too. Since if we're going to do 5%, we'll say center. He plays for New Orleans, and Zion has only played 2 seasons. He's in his second season right now. So this is a case where I would use 2 of the most recent season, which also he's played more minutes this season as well. I would use 2 seasons here. Two seasons. And then 1. Matchup difficulty. I'm going to go to Basketball Index here. 2020 season. And you can see that his matchup is 8.2. So he hasn't really been tested on defense. He's been hidden on defense. And so from there, this is a fresh player that I have not done before. So there's not going to be any information in this data tab here. I'm going to scroll down, find empty cell. Quick way you can 571, see if 571 empty here. I'll scroll up for a little bit. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to scroll up just to see if I can find anyone. I don't remember where I left off. Okay, so I was doing Denver. I left off here. So we're going back. Basketball Reference. First thing you do here, Basketball Reference. Go to Totals tab. You're going to get this as an Excel workbook. You download that. And copy paste it into the B cell, whatever B cell you want. This data tab here. Again, like we said, we're doing 2 years worth of this season and one of last season. In order for the spreadsheet, so first, as you can see right now, like I said, if you go to Calc Tab, you can on the database yet by the error messages here. So in order for the tool to recognize the statistics from the square, what should you do? For the totals, you need to enter the player's name. And for each year, you put whatever year it is. So for the first year data, Zion total totals 1. For the second year, Zion totals 2. Zion Williamson totals 3. Okay. So it doesn't matter if these are all year 2021. It doesn't matter if, like in the Jokic example, they're all different years. You need to make sure for the totals, you put in the A cells, Zion Williamson totals 1. For the first year, Zion Williamson totals 2. For the second year, and Zion Williamson totals 3 for the second year. And name plus totals plus whatever year it is. Once you get the hang of it, it'll be easier. For shooting, I'm comfortable. I usually just do the player's name plus shooting on totals for all 3 first, because it'll autofill. And then I'd add the 1, 2, and 3 afterwards. So 1, 2, 3. So now, go back to Calc Tab, then you can see that all the ratings are there. You copy paste to a fresh row here, right below Jokic. Once you finish that, go back to the ratings view. Make sure in cell A1, you hit display. And it will automatically generate ratings, tendencies, and badges for that player. Just going through them so you can see what the tool produced. Always taking a look at how it can be improved. Here, if you've been following the thread, you might notice that there is now a touches formula that I'm using, as opposed to setting all the players at 50. my testing, it just seemed to flow better that way. I'm going back and forth with this. Setting all touches at 50 might help with the shot distribution issues. The main reason for that shot distribution issue is not necessarily the touches rating that 2K uses, but Ace is a bit buggy right now. But it's just I also on the badges, as I might have noted in the thread here. I believe the game plays best with gold and silver, so there's no bronze, no Hall of Fame. That's personal preference. You can always use the numbers, tendencies, badges, and the two businesses as the starting point. I personally deviate much from the starting point because I believe that's the best way, effectively speaking, to do it. Anyway, but this is how the tool works. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to private message me, whatever is easiest for you.